Okay, so welcome back to Ready Player U. I'm Mike,
I'm Matt.
and we're going to kick this episode off with some news coming up this week that just happened. Matt, you got a whole bunch of stuff that happened this week, right?
Yeah, one of my favorite directors. You may know him, director of Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Robin Hood Men in Tights,
I love that movie.
High Anxiety, numerous Dracula Dead and Loving It, of course Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
The great Mel Brooks is getting the Lifetime Achievement Award at 97 years old. They just announced it the other day from the Academy Awards. And that is fucking big. Him and Angela Bassett are both receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. And Angela Bassett, too, I mean, she's played, Tina Turner. She's been in movies forever, but
yeah.
but I mean, that's, congratulations to both of them. They definitely deserve it. I don't have nothing bad to say.
No, Mel Brooks is a legend.
So, one of my favorite, everybody knows I'm a big wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And so one of my favorite matches of all time just hit 25 years. And I'm talking about...
Since it happened.
It's the 25th anniversary. And I'm talking about June 28th, 1998. King of the Ring, The Undertaker versus Mankind in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Now, even if you're not a fan of wrestling, you know that Hell in a Cell match. This is the second match in history. The first one was at Bad Blood, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, and they tried to top the first one. The first one was the first introduction of Kane, Undertaker's fake brother, and they tried to do one up on it. I mean, Undertaker was throwing Shawn Michaels all over the fucking place, bloody as fuck, just kicking the shit out of him. And then here comes his brother Kane, ripping the door off the cell, face to face, tombstoning him, and making him lose the match. And now we're talking about King of the Ring 98, a little background on what was going on with the match. Undertaker had a broken foot going into this match, so he was already hurt. Yeah. But Mick Foley, Mankind, was trying to figure out, okay, how can we top the first Hell in a Cell? Because that was, epic match. First time anything like that's happened.
Yeah.
So, one of his best friends, the hardcore legend, Terry Funk, told him, just gave him one advice. Start the match on top of the cell. So they went to talk to Vince McMahon, talk to Undertaker. Vince was all for it. Undertaker was like, no, I don't want to. I mean, everybody knows that Mick Foley is a bad motherfucker. What the hell?
There's a spring on the boom mic.
So he's like, kept trying to talk to him, and Undertaker's like, no. So he's like, okay, we're going to start, and I want you to throw me off the top of the cell. And Undertaker's like, no. And Mick's like, I can take it. So the Undertaker has his entrance. Here comes Mankind. Throws a chair up on top of the cell. They both start the match. Top of the cell. And you could see the girders. They weren't tied enough because when they were walking, you kind of see like a little giveaway.
Yeah, like it's bending.
It was the mesh was already like falling through.
Yeah.
And so then they're like, all right. So before Undertaker throws Mick off the cage, you're like, you ready? Throws him off the cell 22 feet down on the announcers tables. Damn. And nobody, like 5 people, Undertaker, like 3 or 4 people I knew. Undertaker, Mick, Vince, and maybe Terry. No, just them 3 knew what was going to happen.
So it was a total surprise to most everybody.
Oh, yeah, everybody thought, no. You hear Jim Ross, because I remember watching the match. I'm like, holy shit. And he's like, oh, Mick Foley's broken in half. He's dead. Well, you see his foot kind of moving. Yeah. So here comes Undertaker's still on top of the cell. And this is probably one of the most epic matches first epic match I've probably ever seen.
Yeah.
And so to get the gurney over to the announcement table, they had to raise up the cell because they couldn't get through, because you only have maybe person wide. So
a couple feet, yeah.
So they wouldn't be able to get their gurney, so they had to raise the cell. Mm-hmm. And Undertaker's still on top of the fucking cell.
And they had to raise it with him on it.
While the shit is raising. Yeah, so then they finally get Mick Foley on the gurney, and he's already towards the entrance, and here it comes. And you see Undertaker crawling down the cell. Well, this is Mick fucking Foley.
Yeah. He
gets off the goddamn gurney, goes back to the cell, climbs back to the top.
Wow.
And Undertaker's like, okay, we're going to do, because the whole time he was,
he thought he was going to hurt him.
He's generally, but, he had to keep character, which he's done some for, his whole career. Up until, 2 years ago when he finally retired.
Yeah.
So they started the match off again, and they're getting chair shots in, and they didn't think that the mesh was going to fall through. And now here's what happened. Undertaker took Mick Foley. He's going to do his choke slam.
Yeah.
But instead of getting the height like he usually does, he just kind of grabbed him and threw him down.
Mm-hmm.
Right through the fucking cell onto the hard canvas.
Ouch.
So he thought he might have bounced, but whatever they used to tie the mesh to the cell,
it didn't bounce.
No, so you just...
It was like a dead blow, like bam.
Oh, yeah.
No resonance to it.
But plus, when Undertaker did that choke slam, if Undertaker would have got the height like he does, and went through, Mick Foley would have been dead.
Oh fuck, dude!
Because there's a height difference. I think Mick Foley's 6'5", and Undertaker's close to 7 foot.
Yeah, he's a big motherfucker.
So but luckily he just kind of tossed him down.
Yeah,
and on the chair where he went through. So he went through, and the chair ended up cracking him in his face.
Mm-hmm. Damn it!
Knocked his tooth out. And everybody knows the thing. You see
what he wanted for Christmas.
Mick Foley's in the corner, and it looks like he's smiling. This is fucking weird ass kind of. He's just he's kind of looking and smiling, but he's not really smiling. His tooth got shoved through his lip into his. You see his tooth in his nose.
Ow.
So the whole time he's sticking his tongue through that hole in the roof of his mouth.
Holy fucking shit.
And then so they still had their spots, and Undertaker's trying, and Undertaker working on a broken foot, so he jumps down from the grabs the bottom of the cell, and hops down, because it's not too much of a difference. And you see him he fell on his broken foot, so he's like, okay.
His dedication to a bit.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, Terry Funk gets in the ring, and all these officials, they're like, hey, come on,
break it up.
And then, of course, Undertaker, he's like, no, choke slams Terry Funk. And Mick Foley's still the resilient motherfucker he is.
Yeah.
Starts fighting back. And, of course, he goes under the ring, grabs this fucking bag of tacks.
Oh, no. Like thumbtacks?
Thumbtacks.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck no.
So he throws them all over the ring, and it's like, holy shit. So, of course, he's like, he's hitting Undertaker. Undertaker's reeling. Almost, you think he's going to fall onto the tacks. No, Undertaker just reverses it, choke slams him, but he didn't. He got a few of the tacks, not all of them.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, so they keep fighting. So Mick Foley gets the mandible claw, gets his 2 fingers down Undertaker's throat. And Undertaker somehow gets him on his back. So Undertaker is standing there with Mick Foley on his back, and he just jumps
Wow.
So
like he just, oh man, he didn't take no break.
Onto his back, so the more attacks get on him. And then, then finally gave him the tombstone, end of the match.
Signature move.
Which is, here's the thing. I watched, it was a video of Undertaker and Mick Foley watching their match 25 years later.
Oh, fuck.
So this is where I got a lot of my insight.
That's like when I saw that clip recently of Jackie Chan watching his career over the because he did all his own stunts, and then he brought him to tears because he knows he can't do that no more.
Then Rumble in the Bronx, there was one of the scenes that he had like a broken foot, so they had to make a cast, but he was still doing his own stunts.
Yeah, he did some epic shit.
Yeah, so the whole time Mick Foley was, they knew they were going to do the tack spot, which is what they here we're going to do that spot.
Scene, yeah.
Yeah. So he didn't get the full tax. So they did an audible, and that's when he got Undertaker's back, and then Undertaker just threw his whole weight.
That is fucking bananas,
but
dude.
You know what? We started the episode, and we haven't pulled out the Pretty Lady.
Okay, well, we can pull out the Pretty Lady. So this week we're going to cover a band that's over a 14-year career. They've had 5 studio albums. The band's members are Francesco, Claudio, Cristiano, and Federico. They're an Italian band and defined as dwarfen heavy metal, and this band is known as Wind Rose.
Oh yeah,
I'm
ready to hear about it.
So I was cruising through an app, and I was scrolling through pictures and memes and shit like that, and I came across this little quick video, and it had these dwarfish looking dudes just playing this grungy heavy metal, heavily bass influenced and whatnot music. And I was like, instantly had to go to the comments, had to find out about this band. Who the fuck are these guys? I've never heard this before like this. I've heard heavy metal, I've heard thrash, screamo, all kinds of shit. And we cover a lot of metal bands, but this one didn't sound like any I've heard before. And I'm looking them up, and a lot of their music is based off of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings.
And folk.
Yeah, the folk.
Music, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what inspired a lot of their look, a lot of their sounds. They have songs like Diggy Diggy Hole, We Will Rise, things like that, which was part of the intro you guys just heard, was a little bit of that. We will... my fucking words suck ass, bro.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Yeah, that kind of thought.
Yeah.
But
just
no
brain farts. But yeah, so the intro that you heard is definitely... I had to edit it for time because I wanted to fade it in, fade it out, things like that. But they definitely get down. They definitely know their shit. They have interviews online. If you can look them up, there's one on YouTube. He sits there and he does this top 9 video games that inspired him, things like that. It's really kick-ass band, all Italian dudes.
Yeah.
And so for our listeners in Italy, I came across this band and I had to know more. If you guys want to shoot us an email and let us know if you've seen them in concert, things like that. Yeah. Absolutely epic band.
Yeah, that's cool.
And when I told you about it, you had to do some research. I know you found some stuff out about them.
Yeah, you had told me last week, yes, you were going to keep it a secret till today, but you're like, no, I'm too excited here. And I was like, okay, so, show me a couple of videos.
Yeah, when we were sitting around after the interview with Out of the Ring last Saturday.
Which was, we'll talk more about that towards the end of the episode.
We were passing the remote, Mona's Misery. We were doing the Mona's Misery game where we pass the remote. Everybody gets to pick a song around the table while we're drinking and playing.
And we'll
I picked the song by Wind Rose, and you heard that, and that was how we got started on this.
We'll tell you guys about Mona's Misery, and my cousin's probably going to kill me once we tell him, but oh well.
But anyways, you heard the song. And
and so I was like, okay, that's cool. Then he's like, hey, this is the band I'm going to do. And I'm like, okay. So the whole week I've been thinking, okay, so maybe I should kind of do a little research and maybe hear a few of their songs. That way, I don't go in completely blind. Sometimes
the idea was to drop it on you out of nowhere and hear your initial reaction.
Right.
But it's okay. I like teasing you with some of the idea because then if it's enough to inspire you to want to go hear this band, you're going to find out things that I didn't know about.
Right.
And that's the balance play. Like, you're going to come out like, well, did you know this about this band that you like? And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know that.
Right.
And you did find some shit I didn't know, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's sorry. Yeah, so before this had been about 3 weeks ago. This way before I even knew this. We were already working on episode 3
or 4 or something like that. Yeah.
So I don't know what Pandora station I was listening to, but it played like a lot of like metal and just like different kind of metal and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hearing this song and I'm like, what the hell? And it's called Werewolves of Armenia.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, who the fuck is this? And of course I look at the name. I'm like, whatever. This is like maybe a one-time song. One time I'll hear the song. Well, then this past week I was listening to, of course, Pandora, and before work or during work, before we open, and I was like, wait a second, what? So I look and say, who is this? And Wind Rose. I was like, so that's when I text you. I was like, Wind Rose, right?
Yeah, you're like, what was that band you were talking?
Yeah,
you do the episode on?
And you're like, yeah. I'm like, well, what the fuck? One of their songs just came on my Pandora.
That's because the government's listening.
Yeah, of course. And then I'm like, oh shit. And then of course, today again I hear that song, Wolves of Armenia, and I look, and sure enough, Wind Rose. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, so they got a lot of their songs are inspired with so they got that one, Diggy Diggy Hole. That one's about, if you listen to the lyrics of it, they're talking about mining into the mountain. They can never dig too deep, things like that. All the stuff or
Minecraft.
I guess Minecraft. Yeah, you could associate it with that.
Well, I did look it up, and I guess another some YouTubers actually had done it or something, and they did the music or some kind of shit like that.
So when I looked up the song Diggy Diggy Hole, it's, if you look at the lyrics, they're talking about how the dwarves had mined too deeply in Lord of the Rings, and they uncovered all that stuff, and they went too deep, and they got too greedy, and all that stuff.
That's where that fire demon where that fought Gandalf.
Smaug and stuff, yeah.
No, not Smaug. In Lord of the Rings, when he Gandalf, when he fell through the
the Balrog.
The Balrog, yeah. That's where the mine.
But I'm saying when they dug too deep in the mountain, that's what that song is talking about, and so because they're all inspired by Tolkien,
right?
And so you look at some of the other songs that they got. That's Drunken Dwarves, Winter Saga, The Returning Race, things like that. So they're all talking about the race of dwelves. Dwelves.
Oh, the
dwelves.
My
God, dwarves.
The dwarves that dwelve.
Yeah, the dwelves that... Bleh, say that 5 times fast.
The dwelves that dwarves.
Christ, I can't talk today.
Yep.
My brain is already out of the episode, running away from the house, getting free, doing whatever the fuck I want. I'm totally not in my brain. My brain just will not sit still.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a couple songs that you didn't mention. To Erebor.
Yes.
Which was...
Well, see, I was reading off the singles, the hit singles that they had put out, which they're not exactly exploding I mean, it took them 14 years to get 5 studio albums, so they're not exactly blowing up.
Right.
Because I don't think a lot of people have heard them.
Well, seeing these songs, they're the ones that popped. I looked them up too.
Yeah.
And none of these songs had popped up on what I was looking up.
Yeah, it's almost like they're mainstream-ish, but they're not. You almost have to go looking for them.
Yeah, to get more info on them.
Yeah.
So, like To Erebor, if you know Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit.
Mostly this one was about The Hobbit,
It's The Hobbit. Erebor is King Under the Mountains, where the dwarves had lived, and then Smaug had came and took over.
Yeah, because dragons are attracted to gold.
The gold, yeah. So that's To Erebor. It's all about their journey to take back.
Right.
And then there's a Battle of the Five Armies.
Right, which is also a tie to The Hobbit.
Which was and that was like the most.
That movie was pretty epic.
It was. I mean, the whole thing is epic. I mean, you have dwarves, humans, elves, the eagles, and Hobbit.
Yeah.
So that's the 5 army. Or no, the goblins. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's the goblins, humans, elves,
orcs. There was 5. The 5 armies was 5 different good sides and then 5 different bad sides?
No, it was a 4 and against 1. But the goblin army was way more
the White Hand of Saruman and all that.
So you had the dwarves, you had the elves, you had humans, and then the eagles jumped in, and then they were all fighting against the goblins that wanted to lay claim to the gold, which everybody thought they had a right to.
Yeah, because I think dwarves had promised them so much riches for
and then they want
helping them.
And that's where it comes they're greedy. They want to And that could be.
It's good folklore, good story. And then I was years ago. I was looking up. I don't know what I saw it on Discovery Channel or Dateline or some shit where they had some discovery about they had found a body in Netherlands or New Zealand or wherever. Oh, excuse me. And they had did the carbon dating and all that stuff on there, and they figured out that because midget is a specific height. Dwarf is a specific height. Hobbit, they didn't think was real. They didn't think it was just all mythological, whatever, made up. They discovered that could actually be a possibility of a race genome type of humanoid.
Really?
That was, they found it and they were like, okay, this is classified as a Hobbit. This is not just in some book by Tolkien. This was a legit...
a short person.
Type of person that walked the earth.
So
they weren't a midget.
Are they smaller than a midget?
There's a height requirement. It was almost 5 foot and over was average humans. Then between 4'9" or 4'11" or somewhere around in there down to a certain height was dwarf, and then below that was midget. And that's where the arms are really short, the small digit fingers. And
Bridget the Midget.
Bridget the Midget, basically the most famous midget porn star ever. Stripper and all that.
Yep.
Which she's in a movie, I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell.
Yep.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie. That was one of the most original, hilarious movies ever.
I think we talked about it.
We talked about it at the interview with
Band of the Ring. That's right. Yeah.
Band of the Ring. Out of the Ring. Jesus Christ. See, my brain is just dog shit today.
See, Lord of the Rings.
Dude, it was, Lord of the Rings, Out of the Ring. Holy shit. It's coming full circle.
Band of Rings
it's coming in a full ring. And we talked about wrestlers in the ring. Oh my God, look at that. Dude, there's levels to this shit, bro. Levels.
Yeah. And how you said, maybe hobbits are small, but that reminds me of Lord of the Rings. After one of the scenes, Merry and Pippin had got kidnapped by the orcs, and Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli went to go look for him.
Yeah.
And he's seen the Riders of Rohan, and asked him, they go, "No, did you ever, we're tracking a band of orcs." They're like, yo, we burned them.
We left none alive, and
then there was like, was there any hobbits with you? And they'd only be childs in your eyes.
Yeah,
the size
exactly.
of child your eyes. So that's what the size. And how the fuck do I remember that shit? I haven't seen that movie in fucking.
I fucking love those movies, dude. I went to a yard sale a while back, and they had all the movies on one Blu-ray disc or 2 Blu-ray discs, and I was like, yoink! And I already own the movies on DVD.
See, I think me and my sister had got mom Blu-ray special edition fucking bumfuck whatever, and then it was fucking like every movie was like over 3 hours long. Because they usually about
the director's cut, the
director's
unremoved
cut.
Scenes, the extended version, basically.
Exactly, that's what it was. Extended version for the whole trilogy of Lord of the Rings. Oh my God, those were some long. I mean, if you're gonna do a whole series like that, I mean, the damn movies are like 3.5, close to 4 hours long. This is a extended.
On what is it? Regular edited for the movie theater
was like 2.5, 3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah, it was at least 3 hours.
So this is adding like an extra good 45 minutes.
Yeah. So we got Wind Rose. What was that one that you mentioned that I like the sound of that name? It was Return to Erebor, or what was the other one?
You didn't check out one of those.
Breed of Durin?
No, it was another band that you had liked.
No. That Wind Rose one, you had mentioned one of their songs that I wanted to hear.
What, the Battle of Five Armies? Oh, Werewolves of Armenia?
Yes, that one.
Where? Not where. You're not going to wear the wolves.
How do you spell werewolf?
W-E-R-E.
I never spelled werewolf before.
See?
Yeah. English is not my first language. Okay?
I know you're not going to wear the wolves.
Well, if I kill them and skin them, I could have a nice fur coat.
Yeah, well, let's look it up at the one with the lyrics so we can actually understand what the fuck they're saying.
Okay.
But it was like...
we don't get ads here.
For the longest time, this shit just pops up on my Pandora, and it's just funny that some of these songs that you're doing an episode on actually pop up.
It's a whole channel on my Pandora thing now.
Yeah, and now it is a whole channel now too. I like that.
The artwork?
The artwork, yeah, that shit's fucking dope.
All right, let's get into this song. This is a 6-minute song, so I don't know if I want to play the whole song.
No, we play half, and we'll try and shut the fuck up through half of it.
Yeah. Werewolves are Armenian. It instantly gives me that adventurous fucking energy that I just want to fucking go. Let's fucking go.
I like it. Oh, I like that.
That was good. Dude, I want to see these guys in concert now so fucking bad.
That would be badass.
I don't know if they ever do a tour or anything like that. I know that, see, I've only been researching them for a little while because as soon as I heard it, I was like, that's it, scrapping the episode I was going to write. It's all going about this now.
What I did look up, most of their
UK and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, out in Europe, and I don't know. I didn't see anything about ever coming out to the U.S. I mean,
yeah, that's the thing. I got a buddy that's over there in the UK. He's doing London. He's doing Italy. He's doing all these fucking places. And he's been saving up for 5 years with him and his fiance. Have been saving up for 5 years to do this trip. And they've spent all their money to do this vacation that they were going to get married with. Mm-hmm. And he's like, let's go see the world while we're young. We're going to be together the rest of our lives. Let's get married when we get back.
How fucking young are they?
Let's see. He was in junior high when we were in high school. So I'd say about 4 or 5 years younger than us. Maybe 6 to 8 years younger than us. He's like probably 34.
So mid-30s?
Yeah. Oh. I mean, we were kids growing up together, but he was a lot younger.
Right.
So I think he's probably, mid-30s.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah, no, this song that I heard before you even told me who the fuck you were doing this thing on.
See, I haven't heard this song by them. Because I'm going based off of Pandora. I want to be surprised by it. I don't want to just go straight to YouTube and whatnot, but I want it to pop up naturally.
Well, this is what popped up on my Pandora.
This is good. See, I like to pick my Pandora, and I got anywhere from oldies to thrash metal to Christian, everything. I got all the stations on there, and I'll just hit shuffle. And I'll put the AirPods in or the earbuds, and I'll just fucking go to work, and then something will catch me. If that beat or that rhythm or those lyrics or that vibe from that song just hits me to my core, I stop everything I'm doing. I unlock the phone. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And I'm just like downloading everything I can about him.
Yeah, see,
I'm hooked.
If I do my Pandora random, I'm going to go from Johnny Cash to fucking Marilyn Manson to fucking Elvis.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much I don't listen to. I listen to reggaeton. I'll listen to cumbia. I'll listen to artists from Puerto Rico, Daddy Yankee, fucking everything. Mac Sabbath. Fucking it doesn't matter who the fuck it is. Weird Al Yankovic. Oakley Dokley. I listen to everything.
Weird Al.
I don't like too much with accordion in there. Weird Al is one of the few people that gets away with accordion, and I'm just fucking rocking out to it.
Oh, yeah.
But there's not too much music I like with accordion in there. Shit. I am starting to get... That's okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's just a fucking microphone. It's all right. But I am getting into more like caballero type, old school Mexican music. The real love song style stuff. I love all that stuff. It tells a great story. You got to break it down sometimes because my Spanish isn't the best, but I know enough to where I'm like, dude, this guy's... He loves this fucking woman,
You know what? Yesterday, I was actually cooking dinner. For once, I actually fucking cooked.
Right on.
I fucking made me a ribeye steak.
Yeah.
And had a...
Medium rare? Did you have any pink in there?
It was medium.
You did medium?
It was medium.
Anything's better than well done.
Oh, yeah.
A steak well done is a steak that's been ruined.
Oh, that's... talk to my mom about that one.
I got no problem. I guarantee you. I can barbecue you a steak that will be better than any restaurant around here.
Right? I told my mom, she's like, I think I'm gonna get a steak. Okay, if you get a steak, it better not be well done. Because if you get well done, you're gonna have to fucking get something else. Cause I ain't gonna pay for that shit. You're gonna pay for your own damn meal.
So the reason I did a lot of studies on why I like steak, the best way to have a steak, things like that, hamburger meat, things like that. So a steak, when you barbecue it, you can go medium, you can go, rare, you can do that. It's no problem. Because when they slice up the cow and you get all those enzymes and bacteria on the outside of the meat. So it's not harmful to you unless you're just not used to that grade of level of cookedness, well doneness, or whatever. But it's when you get into the sausages or the hamburger meats, ground meat, all those enzymes get ground up. The bacteria gets ground up. And that's why
you got to cook it a little longer.
So you got to cook it low and slow to keep it juicy, but you still have to get a hamburger well done. Yeah. Doesn't mean you got to cook it fast and make it burnt and taste like leather. You just got to cook it low and slow to make it juicy. But a steak won't hurt you to do it medium rare. Some people just don't like blood. No. I want that shit. You smack it on the ass, put it on the plate. And I want the
motherfucking moon still.
Yes. You just smack it on the ass and put it on the plate.
So I did just throw it on the stove, put the lid on it. I seasoned it, to my liking.
Yeah.
And I was cooking it. I was like kind of flipping it, and I asked my roommate, like, "Hey, Nana, can you watch this for me real quick?" So I'm gonna run across the street to the store. I want to grab me like a bag of salad, to go, because I had nothing to go with it. So I was
you gotta make your side.
Fuck it, I'm gonna have just a salad and steak.
Right.
Also, I got back and she's like, "Oh, you might want to cut into it." So okay, so check it. A little too cooked, and there was a little bit of pink. So I mean, it was still good. I mean,
it still had the juices to it. And things like that.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I like to do a marinade.
Yeah.
And then I'll let that motherfucker soak in. I'll put it in like a Ziploc bag, and I'll when I make my marinade, I'll put it in there, and then I'll stick it in the fridge.
I don't want to know what you do with your marinade.
Yeah, baby. Trust me. I make a steak to make you fall in love. I promise you that. I have yet to go to a restaurant and taste a steak better than what I can make. And I'm not good in the kitchen per se. I'm getting a lot better because I've had to learn how to cook being a single dad. I've had to learn how to do all these recipes and stuff, which I'm getting better at. He's like, "Hey, you didn't add too much salt this time," or "This tastes just like Mom used to do it," or
he's
whatever.
Still being critical because
I love it. I love it because all I can do is grow and get better as a cook. And, which I'm a mechanic. I'm an electrician. I don't do kitchen stuff. There's a reason I don't do certain because I'm not good at it.
I can make ceviche. I mean, I can make a good ass salad. Just give me the ingredients. But I know produce. So when it comes to meat, besides my own meat,
I can do pretty much really well on a barbecue grill, like chicken and steak and things like that. Now, if you're getting to a brisket or something, I'm a lazy motherfucker and I'm not a morning person. You got to get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and have that thing ready to go because that is like 8 to 10 to 12 to 14 hours worth of cooking, depending on the size of the brisket. And you got to turn it, you got to sauce it, you got to foil it, you got to unfoil it, there's so much work to a brisket, which one day I'm going to do it.
I see my boy Martin do it with the birria.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But
is that the one that's on the spiral?
No.
And then they slice it down. What's that one called?
I think that's Middle Eastern.
No. There's a Mexican way of doing it too.
There's, he'll like have it in the grill, and then he'll boil it, and he's up at 4 o'clock in the morning cooking this shit. But birria, Spanish birria. Oh, that shit is just so tender. You just take
fall off the
fork
bone
and just he makes the best tacos out of it and all that. But I haven't really cooked in. I'm lazy. I
know. You get off work, we do the show, things like that, and then you put in an order, you pick up your food because you're trying to unwind.
Yeah,
we only get so many days off.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I was off on Sunday, but that was my one day off since last
because you did that
Tuesday.
6 days straight or something, right?
Yeah, so I was off for 6 days. So I started my work week on Tuesday.
Yeah,
I worked all the way to Saturday. Had Sunday off. Had to work all this week, Wednesday through Friday. Then I get tomorrow and Sunday off. So, which is, I know it's cool. I'm back to, but like 1 day break and then, back at it. But it's, no. Usually I just, have a couple beers. I'll take a nap. And sometimes I won't even eat. I won't be hungry. Depending on how my day went, I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna just relax, watch whatever show. Last night I just binge watched Skull Island on Netflix.
Skull Island.
It's an animated King Kong Skull Island.
Oh, okay.
Animated show, eight episodes.
So nothing major.
No, fuck no. I started watching it when I got home. Yeah, I finished it last night.
Yeah.
So, it is good. Animation was really well done. The voice acting was good. It had some nice story to it, and it showed Kong as like an actual character, not just this fucking
monster
beast.
Yeah.
But it shows that he does have a heart, and certain things that happen, makes him. Fuck you, fuck whatever.
Yeah, he's had, he's tired of, getting criticized or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was a good show, and I was just like, my boss, he had some steaks that had just expired that day. But I mean, it's still good. But we can't.
that day. That's because that's the health code. Or
yeah, we can't sell them.
You can't sell it, so you can take it and cook it. But you got to cook it that day. Though. You can't wait a day or two.
Oh fuck yeah! So I threw it in my fridge, and in the whole back of my mind, I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I want to cook this. But I did tell one of my friends that I was like, hey, you know what? We were talking the other day. I was like, you know what? I'm trying to learn, but I want to cook you dinner one of these nights.
Yeah.
I might fuck it up, but
that's why you practice beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe. Oh, hey, you're practicing. It makes perfect.
Yeah. Hey, if you want, I'll show you how I do my steak. If you want to impress her, I'll show you how to do my steak. She'll fall in love. I promise.
No. So I was just like, okay, no. If I won't eat it, then probably neither will anybody else. So I was like, okay, so I want exactly what he had said. I was like, okay, let me cook this meat for me, and let me see how I like it. Okay, so well,
before you cook anything for her, you got to probe her a little bit. Like, how do you like your steaks done? Mm-hmm. If you were to have a perfect steak, what would be perfect for you?
Or the thing is, or we both cook together.
That was always fun. I love doing that.
She could do the sides, and I could do the
entree. I love doing that. That is fun.
If I fuck up the meat, well, hopefully she makes some good sides. Because I mean, you know me, I'll eat a fucking salad like a goddamn rabbit. So I don't fucking care.
And I won't, dude. I totally won't. I don't put my engines together without any oil. So damn it, my food ain't gonna not have it either. Yeah, gotta lubricate my innards, girl.
Yeah, but, something's getting lubricated that night.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how the fuck we go.
Well, we do this. That's what we do. I used to love taking Anthony's mom out to dinner at certain places. Like, we go to Olive Garden or something. Right. And then she would order, like, a stuffed mushroom or something. And then she'd take a bite, and she'd stop mid-bite, and she'd get this look on her face. And I'm like, you're thinking it, aren't you? And she goes, I could do this better at home. And I'm like, are we going to the store afterwards? And she goes, oh, yes. And I'm like, fuck yeah, grocery store time. Let's get food, baby.
Oh, I know. I remember you should show me your freezer. It was like packed fucking meat.
Packed, dude. She would be she can make that lemon pound cake from Starbucks better than fucking Starbucks. And then, don't put your dick on the microphone.
See, that shows how big it is. Fucking this.
Oh, only when you stand on the step stool.
Shit,
you could get it to touch it.
I got that hog leg, baby.
Oh shit! Here we go. That must be one little ass hog. Anyways, she could do the stuffed mushrooms from Olive Garden better than Olive Garden. She did an amazing spaghetti. I mean, whatever it was, she could do it by taste.
Overdid.
Like some musicians can sit there and hear music like. Lead singer of Out of the Ring. He goes, I don't read sheet music. I just hear it, and I learn it, and I play it, and I just go. And that's amazing talent. I think it's a very underrated talent. Yeah. Well, she could sit there and do a pinch of this or a pinch of that, and then she didn't use measurements. All the greatest chefs, all the greatest cooks, everyone that knows how to really cook, like that's their God-given gift, they do it by taste. And she would get a sample spoon, taste it, it's missing paprika or Italian seasoning or whatever. It was amazing. So that's why I love going out to eat once in a great while. But then she was like, hey, how come we don't ever go out to eat no more? I said, why would I go want to eat garbage when you cook so much better at home?
They're like, fuck you, I don't want to cook.
I'll get in there, but I loved getting in there with her. I'd go outside and do the steaks because I knew how to work the grill, and she knew how to make the sides and the salads and stuff like that. And it was a balanced meal. It was great.
See, and that's something I want to,
it's a couples thing, a partnership thing, and you grow together when you do it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a bonding experience.
Yeah, I mean that too. I mean, we're still like getting to know each other type. I don't know where it is, but I mean that's where I'd like things to be. But I mean, it's things that are a little complicated.
Yeah, but if she likes I'll have to have you over when I cook some steaks, and you'll see how I do it. And then if you want, I'll show you exactly what I do, and it's just. The method that I have behind it, it's 100% accurate every fucking time, and it's the same result every time. It's amazing.
And it's funny, too, because now that you mention all the cooking, when I was little, I don't know, maybe I do have little bit of cook in me. I don't know, but I do. I was probably around 6, 7 years old.
Right.
My dad, he had this fucking the apron and the fucking big old fucking
the chef's hat. Yes, I love the chef's hat.
Said,
I need to get one.
They both said, "Kiss the cook."
Oh, mom and dad both had it on. That's tight.
No, just my dad. Just had
he
the
both
kiss
had
cook.
two. Okay.
Yeah. So no, but I remember when I was little, I think I want to make an egg or something. Just something simple. I mean, I was only like
a fried egg or something.
Yeah, I was 7, and my dad's okay. So I don't remember if it was either him or my mom, but I remember I was like, okay, I want to try some of this, some salt, some pepper. And I don't know. I think I just threw a bunch of seasoning on my fucking egg.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the first time I ever cooked. I mean, like, of course.
If it smells good, it's probably going to taste good. Smell and taste are tight
I don't remember how it tastes, but I mean, it was. I think it was shriveled up the egg or something. It wasn't a real egg. It was
little Matt Boyardee over here.
Matt Boyardee. There you go.
There you go.
I might have to change my Instagram now.
Yeah, that'd be tight. You should do that.
Matt Boyardee.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be all cooking.
Yeah, I wanted to go to school just for culinary arts, not to do it as a career or nothing. Just because when I get in there, I don't want to be like, give me the whisk. What, you cook with whiskers?
No, the
motherfucker, the
whisk.
stirring shit, the stirring stick or whatever. Yeah, well, whisk. I want to know what shit is. I want to know what the utensils are. It's a different set of tools. It's a whole other language. Everything's temperature, taste, smell. You got to have a feel for it. And I would love it because I love to eat it, so I might as well learn how to cook it. That way I can make it the way I want.
See, no, I like with hanging out with Martin. You know, he's a chef. He went to culinary school, so I have learned a lot. I mean, I was thinking about it today. I was filling up just some like cucumbers.
Yeah,
but he's made a cucumber salsa.
Really?
And now I think I can replicate it. Not as good as him.
Well, because there's always some trade secret, some process.
And this is exactly where I was getting my point, because with my ceviche, it took my tia would make it all the time. So I mean, it was really good, imitation crab and stuff. And real ceviche has no crab. It's just shrimp. And then, your veggies and shit. And
depending on the region you come from, it could.
Exactly. Because,
like a shrimp cocktail, a lot of people put ketchup in there.
Yep.
So it all depends on the region you're from, of Mexico or Spain or whatever. It depends.
So then I started, experimenting now that I seen how my tia made it. So I started with it. And I don't give a fuck. The highest compliment I ever got on my ceviche was my grandfather saying, "Mijo, this is so good."
Yeah.
And my grandfather is the cook. I mean, he could make.
So it's in your blood, dude. It's in your blood.
Yeah. So he's like, "Mijo, this ceviche is good," but then when he got older, they're like, "Oh, I'd usually use like maybe 2 jalapenos."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, don't make 2 batches." I'm like, I'm not making 2 fucking batches. It's either.
So you do a spicy ceviche?
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing anybody do a spicy one with jalapenos or habaneros or anything like that.
The last time I made it, I used serrano.
Really? Serrano's a good pepper.
Yeah.
It's like almost a happy medium.
So, and here's the thing. This is 2 things that I learned from one of my friends, the chef. I seen him make a cucumber salsa, which I could probably replicate it, but I mean, I may just
you'd be a Wish app version of it.
It will be experimental.
Yeah,
but then I've watched him make an avocado salsa.
I've heard of avocado salsa before.
Oh, and all you need is 5 ingredients for the avocado salsa.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's all.
Sometimes you got to keep it simple. Go by the rule of KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what it works, man. Sometimes you try and overcomplicate a recipe.
So all you need is avocado,
naturally
serrano, salt, water, and a blender.
So water is basically just to help it mesh, keep it fluid, so you can stir it together.
So, so you cut all your stuff up, and you like blend it, so you get like that thickness to it. Then you add the water and salt.
I do have a sickness for the thickness.
Oh, me too. The salt depends on how much salt you want to use. For your preferred taste.
Yeah.
But then once you get it thick, then
you can always bring it up to another level.
And then you throw in some water and just kind of blend it.
Yeah.
Until you think it's to that point, and there's like five things right there that you need. And I watched him do it, and
see, I look at,
and this one I want to try too, because I mean, I've as him being a chef, and something that got me more inspiration was watching that show, The Bear.
Dude, I seen previews for that right after you told me about it, and I was telling Anthony about it. I was like, dude, Matt was just telling me about this show. I gotta watch this show now. It's the more I see it, I'm like, what really kicked it off is the fact that you said you watched it, because you don't watch dog shit. If it ain't worth it, you'll just like fucking bail on it.
Yeah, usually
if you're hooked on it, it's definitely something that I'm probably going to be into as well.
It'll take me 1-2 episodes, and I mean the story is like really good. I mean, like the basis is.
Well, they started a restaurant, right?
This dude, he worked in like the #1 restaurant in the world in New York. Mm-hmm. He was a chef there, and it kind of showed. He was like the #2. Mm-hmm. I guess you had the head chef, and so he was getting talked down on, and treated like shit, even though he could do a lot of this shit, but he didn't have the people to do. And this is like a high-end restaurant, all that
5-star,
and so his brother passes away that ran a restaurant in
like Buffalo, New York or something?
No, I think it was like in Boston. So he went
Boston.
He went from New York to somewhere there on the East Coast.
Right.
To run his brother's restaurant. So he goes in and he thinks he's like high and mighty because he worked at the top. Yeah. And then all the employees they had, and like, no, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with our shit.
They got a routine. They got a method.
It's a simple deli. That's all they did. But he knows how to do high end shit. So
it's a high end deli.
No. It's just a regular, like if you go to like Jalisco's, you want to go grab a burrito, tacos, whatever.
Yeah.
No, but it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But what he did was more, cooking in Mexico type, big tortas.
So he's like got a trifecta here. He's going to have 3 things come together.
So
high-end restaurant, home cooking from the home country. Then he's going to have the deli. And it's either going to turn out really good or really bad. So.
And he's Italian too, so he.
Oh, that's crazy!
So everything that
ties into the Italian episode we're doing here.
So everything that he's like, that he had cooked, his brother had cooked. So he kind of learned from him, and then he went to school, and he had like a really fucked up home life. So he just like takes off, and he gets invited by his aunt to go live in New York with her. Yeah. She's like, hey, why don't you come out here, get away from these fucking assholes, come live with me for a little bit and let's see. And then from there, that's where he ended up
back
with
to a more simpler life.
This cooking, but then after his brother passed away, he takes over the restaurant, and he wants to like, okay, so you're gonna answer yes, chef. We're all chefs here. So he's like, okay, can you do this? You answer, yes, chef. If you talk to me, and the same thing, I will respond to you, yes, chef. So he is up there on the top, but there's...
Yeah, like that shit may have flown in New York, but it don't fly out here.
He treats everybody with equally.
That's good.
So they know everybody is considered a chef. If you're the baker, if you make, you're just washing dishes. You're a chef too. So he's trying, but they were,
equal the playing field.
But what
I
they're doing,
I look at cooks and chefs like you would a doctor. So a foot doctor is not a surgeon. Is not a surgeon. Is not a ear, nose, and throat. Ear, nose, and throat guy is not sports medicine. There's different levels to it. Just like you have the barbecuing world, you got propane, you got charcoal, you got the kitchen, you got a stove, you got electric, you got gas oven, you got this. There's levels to it. There's different, and then you got the different cultures and the different styles. You got stone, brick oven, you got all these different ways of doing it. So it's not just because you can cook something doesn't mean you can cook something. You can get the food hot doesn't mean you know what you're doing. But even when you know what you're doing, you can go out of your element to a whole different style of cooking, and it's a whole nother set of rules.
All right.
But so without further ado, we wanted to get into another song by Wind Rose here.
And see, that's the one I've been eyeing. So, I've been eyeing that one.
Wind Rose, The Battle of the Five Armies.
Which I had mentioned. You had never heard before.
I hadn't heard this one because I had just gotten into this band recently, and I wanted to, know everything I could. And I was like, so it's kind of good that I told you about, I don't want to surprise you in an episode, but this one I thought I was going to do it. But I'm kind of glad I didn't because I'm learning more about the band, which was the ultimate goal anyways.
Uh-huh. Which is our whole point of doing all this, because we're both learning different bands and stuff, and
plus if I didn't know something about it and you found it out and we bring it to the episode, not only am I getting an original first time reaction out of it, it's not scripted, which is not what we do. We got a general outline for what we want to cover, but just like we went whole off course on talking about cooking and totally went off course with Wind Rose here.
I forgot what you were talking about.
yeah, I forgot what we were doing here because I started getting into. That's what we do. We go off on tangents, but
then it all brings it back to.
Yeah. So let's get into this song by Wind Rose, "The Battle of the Five Armies."
Oh yeah.
And even starts off showing the hobbits.
Yeah, that's the dwarves.
The dwarves. I mean, sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, it shows all of them. Even that one, even the fat one that likes cheese. Oh, look at this right here.
Bumbor. 10. We're missing 2. Unless it's the cool guy.
I want to hear this opening here. These drums. Jesus Christ, this guy can play drums.
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, their songs are like 6, 7, 8 minutes long, so it's pretty out there.
All right, so I was gonna do like maybe one more song, and then we can kind of wrap up the show on the band, and then just kind of do our
what
usual
about that
thing.
song to Erebor?
You know what? I do want to hear that one. How do you spell Erebor though?
Yeah.
Oh, it's E. I was sitting there.
Yeah. Erebor. Yeah.
Erebor. Yeah. So I'm not only pronouncing it wrong.
So and there's an actual video for this too.
Official music video. Okay.
And this is one that came up on my Pandora, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, so this is the one that you heard.
Yeah.
So this is called To Erebor by Windrose. They got a little bit of Scottish Gaelic sound to it as well.
The folk sound.
Yeah, yeah. I always say it.
Because a lot of folk stuff come from Scotland or whatever. So
true. Yeah.
Irish, I think, more as a folk.
See, they totally look like full-size dudes, but they're maybe it's just the genre is dwarfish metal. So, like, I've seen some of their stuff, and I another thing I looked up at this band is they're backed up by an orchestra as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a lot of.
You can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear the flutes, you can hear the strings. They have an orchestra going behind them, so it's not just like when Metallica did S&M or whatever. Yeah. They do this all the time.
Yeah, this
is part of their group. They're just not the front band you would see, but you hear them in everything.
But that's where the folk sound comes. And
then they're throwing their metal on top of it. Yeah. So it's like a layered song.
And it meshes really well.
I dig it, dude. I love discovering this new group, this new band stuff. So it's, I'm going to keep listening to them. I'm not going to stop. If they come to tour in America, then... fuck it. I might have to try and get a ticket to Italy just to see these motherfuckers, because I definitely want to.
That would be badass.
And then I love pasta, so it's going to be a win-win. And get out of the country. That's a triple
It's not
win.
just pasta. Your fat ass just loves to eat.
No, I love pasta. Pasta's my favorite. Absolutely tippy-top favorite.
I like macaroni, but I'm not too crazy about spaghetti.
Yeah. Noodle got a noodle for you.
Yeah, the noodle got the noodle.
Yeah, but that's right.
It's they're a really good band. I
4 main members, but they obviously have a string and orchestra behind them. I just can't get enough of them, dude. They just have that really earthy fucking heavy metal, Celtic sound to them. I dig it. And I want to find more like it. Well, there is a band that's like them. What is that? Alestorm?
Oh,
like a beer that's ale.
Alestorm, which I showed you. You're like, wait
you
a
sent
second.
me a link to that, and then all of a sudden, when I was on Pandora, is almost at the same time. But I almost damn certain you sent me a link to one of their songs first, and then the next day on Pandora, it just happened to be the genre that popped up because I'm in that station.
So I think that's the station that I was listening to when.
I got the Windrose station. I just click on that artist and it plays everything within that genre.
I think it was off of my Alestorm because they're like they're a pirate rock. That's true. Pirate metal. Unless you want to pull.
Yeah, I do. I do want to hear it because it's in that genre of music, so it's like a pirate metal.
And it's completely it's different.
And see, I have something that was tied into their.
Yeah, so if you want to bring up Alestorm, which is ALESTORM. These guys are a straight. So
Alestorm is Scottish pirate themed heavy metal band.
Yeah, pirate metal.
So let's back it up. Ailstorm, not like hailstorm.
Yeah, but just ale.
Which I almost typed right now.
I know, I seen that.
Ailstorm. Which song? Because you've heard it more than me.
Oh, there's a lot of their shit. It depends. You know what? You play that first one, Party.
Party.
Yeah, and look, Napalm Records, the same
one that does Ginger, that does Wind Rose. They have a lot of artists tied to them that I had no idea. Like, that record label has got some real artists, and it's artists that write their own music too.
But this is the same record company that does Windrose.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
So yeah, it's they have some harder stuff, but this one is like one of their. It's funny as fuck though.
All right, let's get into it. This is going to be Ailstorm. The song is Party, Party, with little dots in between each one.
I've never seen the video. I hear the song all the fucking time.
This is my first time hearing the song.
It has like a little rock poppy beat.
And it's got a cartoon video.
I get a funny feeling from my head down to my knees. The feeling goes no farther cause my legs are made of wood. I see a giant disco ball, I know this will be good. Out of the icy mist an island appears. It's shaped like a skull and it stinks like a beer. I drop the anchor down and take a swig of rum. It's time to have some fun. To the east and west, it's time for a quest. Get ready to drink till we die. To the north and south, pour that rum in your mouth. Raise a glass to the sky. Get ready for a P-A-R-T-Y pirate D-A-I.
Is that shit dope or what?
That is dope, bro. That is fucking dope, dude. I love that. That was tight as fuck.
Yeah, so you gotta listen to the whole song. So go back and there's another one that they do that is.
Okay, one more. Then we'll get to our emails and your other stuff that you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah,
Keel hauled.
You know, just
Mexico, Tortuga.
Yeah, yes, Mexico.
You want to do the Mexico
yes,
one?
Yeah, this one, dude. I swear to God. I mean, they're like a Weird Al type. They make.
I heard the strings in the orchestra with them too, so it must be a whole. This is a whole different genre.
Yeah. So okay, right there, that first one.
Yeah. So let me
Mexico.
Mexico by Ailstorm. Oh, I love the video game intro. I'll stand around an arcade machine.
But see, that's the party time music.
That's the party time sound in 8-bit.
Yep. See, I've never seen the video.
It's like a 2-for-1 episode.
I've never looked them up on the videos. He's riding his ass.
Yeah, he's on a donkey for those who don't see it.
And the alcohol is free. Whoa, tonight we drink together. Whoa, tomorrow we may die. Yo-ho, Mexico, far to the sun where the cactus grow. Tequila and
fuck yeah, dude, that is bad as fuck.
Yo-ho, Mexico, far to the sun where the cactus grow. Take me away from the ice and the snow. Let's go to Mexico.
See,
fuck yeah, dude.
They're tired of being on the seas. Fuck it, let's go to Mexico and fucking drink tequila and get fucked up.
I love it. That is the coolest fucking shit ever, dude.
So, you know, we're gonna have to go look more into, because I mean, I've been listening to these guys since like last year.
I did not know there was gonna be a Scottish pirate metal band talking about Mexico.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
See, and now everybody. Now this is the first time he's ever actually heard them.
Oh,
and now
that's good.
That's all legit.
That's good. That's so fucking awesome. That is dope, bro. I love that shit.
So, you know, hey, I'm glad that you did Windrose, I mean, that is totally dope. I mean, I love Lord of the Rings. I have.
As soon as I heard them, I had to jump onto this band. I was like, dude, I can't let this go by another episode.
I
gotta
have.
do it now.
I have the books. I have Lord of the Rings. I don't have The Hobbit.
No,
but I do have the whole trilogy. My mom bought me the book for my birthday years ago. It's probably like over 1,000 pages. But it's all three.
Well, in Lord of the Rings, I learned
book.
that in the Hobbit 3 books, that white orc that's in the movie, or the white
the orc.
Yeah, the white orc that's in the movie, he ain't in the books.
No,
they totally Hollywooded that part.
Yeah. But I mean, you have some kind of protagonist,
Yeah.
Or antagonist.
Yeah.
But but they did have parts of Sauron that's still there.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep listening. I made my own radio.
The Ailstorm, that definitely I'm gonna start digging into that. I gotta have some of those songs. Wait till the speakers that I make. Wait till that song comes on the job site. And let's go to Mexico, and they're gonna be like, what are we fucking listening to? Because I work around a lot of Mexican dudes.
They're gonna be like, "Yeah, you ain't no fucking Mexican. What the fuck you talking about?"
Let's go outside. I bet you I tan better than you. Ooh, let's go.
But there's a bunch of other songs on there that's so fucked up and so funny. And I enjoy them. I mean, I love, and just I have 3 hours before we open the store when I get there at 5 o'clock in the morning. A lot of her songs, and then
I've listened to like Joe Rogan, and he had Jewel on there, and she originally started out going around in bars with her dad yodeling and shit.
Oh shit!
So that's how she got into the singing. She wasn't even trying to be a singer. She just kind of fell into it, and her voice was perfect for yodeling. And then she got into doing her own little shows to raise money, and now she's the Jewel that you know today. She's been through a hell of a lot of shit.
Here
we got a new email.
Yes, I knew about the email, but she didn't tell me what.
From our number one listener, Karina, we have, "Hey guys, I'm going to try and guess the listeners' numbers, and I say it's at 510."
Okay, so here's the thing. Before you finish it, so when I told her, last week we hit 500.
Yeah.
Last week we hit 500. And so
right before we recorded the episode, we hit 502, 504.
Yeah, but I told her, but she probably didn't remember. Because I think when we did our interview with Out of the Ring, we were at
504. It jumped 2 or 6 or something like that.
Something like 6, yeah. So we were up. So, go ahead and finish her email.
Okay, so she thinks it's at 510. We will check those numbers momentarily.
Yes, we will.
But anyways, appreciate you two bullshitters. Yeah, we appreciate you too. Oh, yeah, Mike, the speaker is my new best friend. I go everywhere with it. I've charged it once since. Also, I was wondering if you were going to do this again so that other listeners can have a chance to win their very own custom speaker. I don't know, just throwing thoughts out there. One more thing. Laughing my ass off. Did you have a name for your listeners or any thoughts?
Oh,
you know what? I've been toying with the idea that I was going to tell you about it today, that maybe we should do like a t-shirts for me and you when we break into the 1,000 club, 1,000 listener club. But it was just a thought, an idea, because my buddy started his own hat and t-shirt company and things like that. And then I was just watching a Stan Lee documentary yesterday. I think it was on Disney Plus.
The new one that came out.
Yeah,
I
watched it. It was just fucking awesome. And he had so many people write in and so many listeners that he started the Stan Lee fan club or whatever, their own little soapbox.
And he would actually write
letters back, fan mail, things like that.
So that's why I respected him so much, because he loved the fans.
Yeah, and we like our fans too. We love our fans. We all the different countries that we're in, and the fact that we're getting emails, we're doing a contest. It is on the horizon, I would say, because eventually it's going to get to the point to where we're going to be trying to answer or talk about the background of the show or whatever. There's going to be something there.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're at that level yet, because we're still, we're getting our feet wet here, but. To do another chance for the speaker, possibly, yes. I was thinking of doing another contest somewhere down the road, but maybe not necessarily a speaker, maybe something else. I mean, because that's, if we started out with a speaker, we're going to go up from there. Where do you go up from there? Maybe we do something along the same lines. I haven't really sat down to really work it over with Matt yet, but
I know there's definitely something that we're gonna have to sit down and
if it gets to that point, we're gonna have to start doing some kind of merchandising or something.
Because I know I was talking to Karina, I believe it was earlier or yesterday.
Yeah,
and I did kind of give her a spoiler about what you're gonna do
the episode
today.
Well, that's okay.
And I was like,
she gets special privileges.
And I told her, and she's like, it's this. They're called they're dwarven metal. Yeah. And she's like, what the fuck? So I pulled up the video that you did when we went interviewed Out of the Ring.
Yeah.
When we were chilling there at Jim's garage.
That song, yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking serious?
You played Diggy Hole for her.
And no, it was that other one.
Okay.
But she was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I mean, like, you look at the video, it may look like they're tall, but no, these guys are fucking, like, really dwarf. And I told her, it's like, no, they're, like, they take, their sound from Tolkien, from
the Lord of the Rings,
and, folk and stuff. And she's like, no, that's fucking dope. And then I was telling her about, these other kind of bands, which was something I wanted to bring up too. So we're thinking about maybe doing next month because this is
4th of July month coming up.
June 30th. So tomorrow's Saturday. It'll be July 1st.
Yeah.
So we're tossed out the idea of maybe doing a certain a obscure band for maybe the next month.
You know what? That would be perfect because going into the month of July, we got 4th of July, Independence Day. What does this country stand for? Mm-hmm. A melting pot of different music, religious beliefs, genres, musical styles. I think you're right. I think for the whole month of July, we should do random, obscure bands that represent what this country's all about.
Yeah, and... Plus,
that's a great idea.
And then maybe if you guys, send us emails, maybe we can keep it going, just every
shoot us the name of a band that you want us to go talk about and cover.
Or like a different, genre, within the shit that we know, but
I mean, we'll cover whatever genre. I mean, if it's something that like a language we can't speak, we'll cover it. If we can find a way to cover it, we'll cover it.
Yeah. And then, of course, when we get into, October, we can get more into like the more metal horrorcore.
Yeah.
And there's a couple rappers that I have listened to that I could throw in.
I do have a rapper in mind. I do have a metal artist in mind.
We could do something like Esham or Behemoth.
Ill Mind of Hobson.
Hobson.
Hobson is absolutely Tech Nine.
Then okay, so not much Tech Nine, but then you want to go. I love Tech Nine too, but you want to go like Brother Lynch Hung.
X-Rated,
Lunico Leone. I mean,
there's some serious artists there for Halloween.
We could do some serious shit for October. But if you guys have,
and there's so many, we might not get to cover them all, but we will definitely hit the ones we know right off the bat. Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, if you guys can give some ideas about other bands, maybe we could do week-to-week basis and give us enough time.
Yeah, it'll probably be like maybe a 2-week turnaround, given that we get the email on a Friday. We're already doing an episode. Then that next week we're going to cover it. So it might be a week and a half, 2-week turnaround. And then of course, if we overlap a month, so what?
Then of course, Mike's he asked me to do one specifically, which I already had in mind.
And we'll reveal that later because that one is going to be
that one.
That artist we did mention in this episode, but it's going to be on y'all to figure out which one that is that we're talking about.
But then I did tell Mike that that after we were talking yesterday, I was like, now that I thought about it, I'm kind of more
excited about that one than the season finale episode.
Yeah, then he was like, "You need to get put on a straitjacket or something. 'Cause what the fuck is wrong with you?"
No. I get it because
but both of these are
because that artist is more likely to respond to us. And I told you that when we do that episode, I'm gonna do everything I can, get on every platform. I'm gonna spam his email. If I got to send letters to his fucking house, I'm going to get him to mention us or at least hear our episode.
But maybe we should try and make it a clean episode so he'll actually listen, because
I will do my best. I promise nothing. I sacrifice my integrity for nobody. But
I mean, there's those 2 episodes that I'm so excited to go into.
Yeah.
And especially this next one that I'm going to have to really actually look into.
See, that's the thing, is I like you surprising me with an episode because it's I shoot from the hip. I ad lib, I shoot from the hip, I'm raw, and you do more research than I do, and it's more real.
Yeah, and speaking of,
wait, we got to get to the number of listeners. Finish answering Karina's. She thinks we're at 510, and this was today. We got the email 20 minutes ago, matter of fact. So our actual numbers as we sit of this minute at the time of recording, we're at 547.
This is about
the last day of Dinosaur Month, which is June. Our total number of listeners, all-time listeners, sits at 540.
Holy shit! That just went up like this.
This last week, it jumped like 28 listeners.
No, just from like
22 listeners.
From like 10 minutes ago, it was like
523 or 36 or something.
Unless you hadn't refreshed in a while.
No, that was a refresh when you just got here.
Yeah.
Because I had went back to show you the episodes that we had done. And so that was a fresh listing. So it had jumped quite a bit. Everybody that listens know that we put out our episodes late Friday night.
Right.
But so most listeners happen Saturday morning or super late Friday night, depending on time zone, shit like that.
By the time you guys do listen to this, Mike, he puts in a lot of effort on this.
I'll sit here for a couple hours afterwards.
He tries to get everything
polished
and getting the intros, the outros, the different breaks, and I respect this guy so much. I mean, he's put in just to my little stupid idea.
Yeah, but you know what? That's what makes it fun. You never know if you don't take a chance on something. Dude, you got notepads full of ideas and details. And the time we sit here and talk about, what could be this and what could be that, and then we try and shoot holes in each other's ideas. Like, dude, that would be weak as fuck because this wouldn't work, or that wouldn't work, or we got a spitball and bench race just to get things to a certain level. To, it's like, oh, dude, that and then ideas inspire other ideas.
And I usually come up with some good ideas. I'm like, hey, I'm just at work and I'm listening to music. Oh shit, like how do we do this?
And then you'll call me midweek and you're like, okay, I've gone as far as I can go, but for some reason I can't think of what else would be missing from this. Like a recipe for an episode. Well, what's it missing? Well, what about this? Did you know this? Oh, I totally didn't know he had an acting role or this or whatever. Yeah. And then you're like, I got ideas. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get,
so
while it's fresh in your brain, you get back to the notepad.
You gave me that because, with the, I don't think we really talked about it on the Linkin Park episode. I think I did mention it.
Yeah, you had called me midweek.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, what the hell? And he's like, what about Chester, being in movies and stuff? Like, that's right. He was in, 2 of the Saw movies. Right. And he was in Crank. Or no, he's in one Saw movie. The one with, I was like, okay.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, so my cousin.
you were saying something about your cousin before we started recording.
It's my mom's cousin, my second cousin, but fuck my cousin. So she had posted on Facebook to the family, whoever, her friends. He's like, hey, does anybody have any podcasts that I want to listen to? So,
shit.
So check this out. So
is she sensitive about language?
No. She cusses like Berta. I love you, but you cuss like a sailor.
All right, Berta, you're our kind of people.
Yes, and so my uncle's wife tagged me and she's like, "Hey, your cousin Matt has a podcast." And,
yeah, let's go.
And I was like looking at the comments, and she, I think she sent her the link or something. I was like, "Yeah, no, here, just look it up." So she messaged me yesterday.
Where does she live?
She lives up in Auburn.
That's one of our listeners on there.
So she look. She sent me the thing on Messenger, our link on Spotify.
She sent us a link to our own show.
Yeah. Or unless
That's awesome.
Unless she was just responding back. So
Did
she's
you say
like
Auburn or Ashburn?
Auburn.
Auburn.
So she said, "Okay, so the first episode, I was super confused because I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm listening to the next episode now." So I told her, we had no structure in the beginning. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." It's like, it's just us rambling about useless shit till around episode 8 or something. Then this season, we kind of actually have a format. And
There she is.
And it's
right
going
there, Auburn.
Yeah, see you
I
go.
found her.
And she's
Thank
like,
you, Berta.
"It's gonna get better and better every time. You guys are good together. You carry the conversation, and I can feel the energy in people like that." I was like, "We've been friends since 8th grade. We have that rapport and mutual respect."
Yeah.
It's like, we're doing a lot better. We did our first interview last week, and she's like, "Well, I'm a fan." I was like, "Thank you." And she asked me, "Can I be your fan club president? I will make shirts
for sure.
and cool glasses." And I said, "Sure." And that'll be fun.
Glasses, T-shirts, hats, beer koozies.
So,
I mean, I want the stuff just because I want to be I'm my own fanboy. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, look at that, we got a beer koozie.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
So, and I was talking to Karina, and I was telling her about this conversation I had with my cousin. I was like, "Hey, you may not be the number one fan no more."
Oh no! Don't you do that? Don't do that to my Karina.
And
I'm very protective of that.
And she's like, "What?" And I read the conversation, and she was like, "Oh no." And I was like, "Yep." But Karina,
that can be a type for number one, but don't you dare downgrade.
Oh
Karina
no,
like
Karina,
that.
and
She's got wit, she's got charm, and she answered that riddle like fucking fire, bro.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's. Nobody I talk to gets that, and she got that right away. Well, Timmy got it too, but later.
Yeah, and Karina, you've been listening since episode 1.
Yeah, so she knows all the episodes. She knows all the order they're in. She's yeah. I'm telling you, she's still number one fan. But yeah.
I mean, that's
is it Berta?
Huh?
Your Aunt Berta? Cousin Berta?
My cousin Berta.
Cousin Berta?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm down. Like, if you want to get together and we can sit down and go over designs and merchandising stuff, I mean, obviously, I was thinking of that too, but obviously, 50-50. Let's go.
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking.
And then me and Matt will split our 50, but that's just monetary to fund the project.
But I'm thinking, no, maybe we could do just... No, maybe like a 10. Like just do a small order of shirts
and see what sales do.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, I never really. I thought about just doing the T-shirts for me and you, and then maybe some merchandise just to have fun.
I'm
with
not
it.
even thinking about selling the shirts.
I would not the 1,000 listener shirts, but like
no,
I would be down to sell stuff. I mean, if people want it.
If we were to do one now, I mean, just maybe make maybe a dozen.
Yeah.
And then we can, do some, and if we get some more emails and shit, do a little,
contest giveaway of T-shirts or some kind of merchandise. Yeah, that would be cool. That goes right along with what Karina was asking. We could, if we get merchandise going from your cousin, yeah, we'll do a contest giveaway.
And then plus, I mean, we talked to Out of the Ring. They have people that they have koozies.
They have the people who design them. But I think whatever your aunt wants to do, we'll go with that and see. And then I got a buddy whose mother-in-law does T-shirts and stuff too. So we'll get together. I mean, Cousin Berta, if you want to get a hold of Matt and give him a time and a place that we can sit down and talk about stuff, then or get on the phone and start ideas. I don't know how far.
Auburn, it's
how far away is that? We might have to do a road trip.
It's on the other side of like Salinas, up in that area.
Oh, that's not bad, dude.
Probably like maybe 2.5 hours.
That's not bad. That would have to be like a Saturday thing, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Get up early in the morning and just head out there and.
But I mean, no. I mean, it's just.
I'm down.
I don't know.
I'm down. I think that would be kind of fun. I mean, what you never know. What if we're just having fun with it? I mean, if we're not having fun with it, the listeners who buy the T-shirt aren't going to have fun with it.
The fun thing about my cousin, because I went up there one weekend to her house. Me, her, and her husband were drinking, and he's quit since then. Mm-hmm. He's been sober for about a year, I believe. But we were thinking about we're getting none but bottles. We were drinking bottles, so we were putting them on the table. So we're trying to fill the whole fucking table, and then she was going to get the glass to put on
and
top.
Then fill it with resin and hold. That's tight.
But I think we barely got like a quarter. This was like a Friday, Saturday.
Oh, my brother's cousin from Puerto Rico. She's a surfer out there, and she can drink, and she would help.
We drank so much fucking beer that weekend. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then because my mom was out, I believe that she was visiting my brother, and I'm like, no, hey, take me to my cousins. So I haven't seen her. So we were up in like the mountains. And she took me to a little bar and stuff. Had some drinks.
Yeah.
And it was so fun. I love spending time with my cousin. And it was her cousin had just passed away like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
My cousin, that was her first cousin. No, they're my second cousins.
Well, I don't need to know the whole family tree. You're related.
Yeah. Well,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I got a lot of fucking family.
Yeah.
But it could be something. No, just getting the cozies. Oh, hey,
koozies, yeah.
Wait, we got
or shot glasses would be cool too.
Some shot glasses too.
That'd be tight.
Yeah, but
we do have new listeners. Or new countries.
Do you want to talk about the interview or?
Oh yeah. Let me get the rest of this or countries. I want you. Do you got your pen?
Yeah.
Okay, so write down a mark for each new country. We got total countries. So we have new countries here. So we already got the states, which would be 1. Let's do the back side of the page. We're just going to do like, how you do the hash marks, 5 or whatever. So got United States is 1.
Uh-huh.
We got Belgium.
Okay.
We have Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Canada.
Mm-hmm.
France.
Mm-hmm.
Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
We have the United Kingdom now.
Oh, nice.
That's a new one.
Thank you.
We have Germany.
Uh-huh.
Ecuador.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah. Then we have Yemen.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that's it. Oh, I'm sorry. Tanzania.
Uh-huh.
That's a new one. And Thailand.
Uh-huh.
How many is that total?
Canada?
Yeah, Canada's on there, right?
Did you say?
Yeah, said Canada.
12.
We got 12 countries now.
Holy fuck, I thought we had
including the United States, we got 12 countries. Well, we just got Tanzania and Ecuador.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
So, okay, in the U.S.
In the U.S. total?
Yeah, no, let's... I'm curious about how many were listening in the U.S.
Okay, the U.S., we have a lot of different... See, there's 152 with location turned off.
Oh, wow.
71 in Hanford.
Okay.
29 in Ashburn, 28 in Sacramento, 20 in Buffalo, 18 in Fresno. Dude, it would take forever to add these up, bro.
Holy fuck, yeah.
It would take a long time to add that up.
28 in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Brussels beat the brakes out of them, dude.
20 in
So
Buffalo.
Brussels is... Well, I don't know if it would consider beating the brakes.
Wow.
They're 30. So technically, if you look at... Because Hanford is United States, obviously, but location turned off. Brussels is technically in second place now. Brussels, Belgium took it. Ashburn is in third place, and then Sacramento would be in fourth place. Sacramento, you got to get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers, not this. But that's consistent. These numbers are growing, so they're tuning in every week.
Yeah.
Ready Player U is the show, but readyplayerquestions@gmail.com is our email. We'd love to hear from you guys. Shoot us an email. Tell us what you think about the show. Any bands you want us to cover. I mean, we'd love to hear from you guys.
Oh, yeah. Did I tell you about my coworker? Did I already mention it?
I don't remember. I got the memory of a chicken.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, squirrel.
Squirrel? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so one of my coworkers, he likes obscure bands and shit.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
So
yeah. So
I think I did mention that.
you mentioned it when we
to
were...
you.
Yeah.
Okay. So my one of my coworkers, he's the one that told me about the Ailstorm. So I was like, okay, so that's why I made that radio, and I was like, hey, have you heard this band Windrose? And he's like, is that dwarven metal band?
So he has heard of them.
I'm like,
that's fucking awesome.
I looked at him like, are you fucking serious?
They're on enough level to where they're being heard. I love it, dude.
And,
hopefully we can add to their fame.
And I'm like, what? And he's all, yeah, like, oh yeah. So my buddy, because we do our podcast, and he's like, yeah, I found you guys.
He found us.
Right
on, dude.
Oh, I told him about it before, but
okay.
I don't know if he actually looked up for it. He must have.
That's right.
So I'm like, what? So you heard him? He's like, yeah, I like. He likes a lot of these like obscure bands. It's like a lot of people don't know who these guys are.
Yeah.
And, just like Ailstorm, which he introduced me to, which, hey, Jeff, hey, thank you for showing me that. I love Ailstorm.
Dude, that band is dope, bro.
I'm going to have to, listen to, maybe find it on Spotify or something.
I got to say, Mexico's got to be my top song already, just from today.
We'll play some more after we're done recording, just to check some other shit out.
Yeah, after we finish the show,
but, yeah, so he's like, yeah, so he's aware of them. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I told him, like, yeah, no, I heard the song Wolves of Armenia, but I didn't know that it was Windrose.
Yeah, you just kind of were just jamming along. You didn't take the time to stop and see. But
just like, holy crap. But I mean, hey, that's cool, though. I mean, like, there's somebody that, and this is, he didn't, I told him that you're going to do this episode, and he's like, oh yeah, it's a dwarven metal band.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely
like,
love this band, dude. I was
just
hooked from the moment I heard their song.
My eyes just like, oh, fuck, like first time seeing titty.
Yeah, and then the 7th time, and then the 10,000th time. Oh, that's a titty.
Oh yeah, your face never changed every time.
Yeah, I love titties.
But hey, thank you for all. Listener,
what's your coworker's first name? I don't want to give his whole name.
Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Jeffrey.
I appreciate it. I hope you loved the episode. I know we didn't play a whole lot of songs from him, but the idea behind it is to touch on the band, give a little tidbit from it, pique the interest of somebody to where they go out and do their own research on the band and hopefully grow the fan base of Windrose.
Yeah, and
especially we're covering,
especially because our last few episodes has been. Bands that have already been established.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well,
I like that. Korn and St. Clown Posse, Slipknot, Avenged Sevenfold, Linkin Park.
Yeah, those well-known bands. So the idea, Italy, this one's for you. Windrose, absolutely love the culture, love the food, and you're producing a band that is just kick-ass. Yeah. Can't get enough of it.
And as
Would
a
love
nerd,
to hear an email from you guys.
And as a nerd, I love
the folklore,
the Lord of the Rings,
yes, dude.
aesthetic.
It makes me when I heard the band and I started looking into them, I wanted to go home. I wanted to leave work and go home and start watching Lord of the Rings all over again.
Yeah.
Because even Ed Sheeran did a song in Lord of the Rings.
Mm. Oh, really?
Yeah, when they were talking about when in The Hobbit, when the dwarves are about to take off for their first war, their first mission or whatever, and the dwarf leader, I forgot his name right now. He's sitting there and he starts singing over the fire and whatnot. That's an Ed Sheeran song.
Right.
He wrote that.
I didn't know that.
He didn't sing it, but he wrote that. But, my brother, he did sing some of it.
I think I did hear some.
Yeah, so as Ed Sheeran does all these love songs and poppy culture songs, whatever, he's a fantastically talented artist, and he wrote that song that's in The Hobbit.
Right. So I think so we're at the end of the month. So we're gonna call July maybe Obscure Music Month.
Obscure Music Month, exactly right. And then
so
that will be we're going to change the album cover for that.
Yep.
That month.
So I do have an idea, and Mike will probably play a little clip, and if you guys send an email and guess who this is.
Okay, yeah, and see, just to see if people can guess what it is, who it is. All right, yeah, cool. All right, well, I'd like to give y'all a little.
Y'all.
Yeah, I say y'all. My Okie comes out, even though I was raised in California. I'd like to say thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. 4th of July is going to be the next holiday that comes up before we come back to record. We will probably put out a 30-second. Happy 4th of July, just little episode deal. It's not going to be nothing major, but have fun. Love you celebrate all the cultures in this country. That's why July is going to be Obscure Band Month, just because we're the melting pot, and we celebrate every culture here, and we appreciate every band and every walk of life that has made this country what it is. So thank you, Italy, for producing Windrose. We're going to sign off here. I'm going to leave you off. We're both going to leave you off with Diggy Diggy Hole by Windrose. We hope you appreciate it. And I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And we are Ready Player U.
All right. Thank you. See you guys later.
Will not reach this low. In the mind, never seen the blue moon.